Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video game timeline. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Super Monkey Ball series. Now remember, if you enjoy these videos, don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out some of the other videos in the playlist. Anyway, let's jump on in, starting out with Monkey Ball. This is the first game in the Super Monkey Ball series. It was released in Japan as an upright arcade cabinet. It was published by Sega and developed by Amusement Vision. It only has the main game with the exact same levels as Super Monkey Ball. The next year, the game was ported to the GameCube as Super Monkey Ball. It was a launch title for the GameCube, and the first to include Gon as a playable character. The original Super Monkey Ball did have a story, in fact, but it was only on the Japanese release. The next year, Super Monkey Ball 2 released for the GameCube as well. Now, Super Monkey Ball 2 was already in development before Super Monkey Ball released on the GameCube. Overall, Super Monkey Ball 2 is very similar to the original, but it included more modes, levels, and party games, just expanding and bettering the original game. Now later that year, Super Monkey Ball Genie released on the Game Boy Advance. This game was developed by Realism and oversaw by Amusement Vision. It was intended to be a port of the original Super Monkey Ball designed for the Game Boy Advance. And it was in fact the first handheld version in the series. Now this might be a good time to mention that there are many other mobile and flash games in the Monkey Ball series, but we're not going to be covering those today. There's a lot of them, and maybe for a future video. And the next year, the original Super Monkey Ball was again translated over to the N-Gage. And although it is choppier than the Game Boy Advance version, it features similar mechanics and the traditional features of the Super Monkey Ball game. However, the game received mostly negative reviews, criticizing its performance and lack of new content compared to its Game Boy Advance predecessor. This would be followed up by Super Monkey Ball Deluxe in 2005 on the PlayStation and the Xbox. This game included levels from Super Monkey Ball and Super Monkey Ball 2. But despite being developed after Amusement Vision merged with Sega, the game still features its logo. And this game has the largest amount of stages in any Super Monkey Ball game to date. Later that year, Super Monkey Ball Touch and Roll would release on the Nintendo DS. This was the second handheld game in the Super Monkey Ball series. The main game is the same as it was on the GameCube titles. In fact, most of the floors are ripped from Super Monkey Ball 1 and 2. It is also the first game in the series that doesn't have a choice of difficulties. As you progress, the game gets more difficult with each advancing world. The main game consists of the same core gameplay, although you can control the stage by using the D-pad or the DS stylus, making this game fairly difficult to control. And this would be followed up by Super Monkey Ball Adventure. This would be released on the PlayStation 2, GameCube, and the PSP. Now what you're seeing here is the POW cover art. Isn't that amazing? Much better than the North American release in my opinion. But the game differs from original Super Monkey Ball in terms of gameplay, is less focused on traditional floor level, and instead has a story mode focused on plot, missions, and actions. There are over 60 characters throughout 4 worlds, which still holds the record for the most in the Super Monkey Ball series. According to Sega, this game was an attempt to make an adventure game with the Super Monkey Ball characters. But as we know, that didn't really work out. Luckily for us, we would get another installment in the series later that year with Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz on the Wii. Now, what's there to say about this one? We all know you have to use the motion controls to try and control the characters. It's even more difficult than using a D-pad or a DS stylus. But this was the first game to use the new character designs, the same designs that are used today. Now surprisingly, after a long string of releases, Sega didn't release another Super Monkey Ball game for almost 4 years. It was around this time where a lot of mobile games were coming out in the series. But we don't care about those, so we're going to jump ahead to 2010 when Super Monkey Ball Step and Roll released for the Wii. It is often considered the sequel to Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz and is compatible with the Wii Remote or the Wii Balance Board. And that game must have sold pretty well because the next year, Super Monkey Ball 3D released on the Nintendo 3DS, obviously. In this game there are 3 modes of gameplay, which are Monkey Race, Monkey Fight, and the classic Monkey Ball. There are 16 characters in the game, 7 characters from previous Super Monkey Ball games, and 9 new characters. Other than that, there's really nothing else to say. That same year, Super Monkey Ball Ticket Blitz released in the arcades. Ticket Blitz is an arcade game based on the Super Monkey Ball series. Unlike the original Monkey Ball arcade game, in which the goal was to get the high score, this is exclusively for ticket/prize arcades, with the goal of winning as many tickets as possible. So overall, a little disappointing. But don't worry, because the next year, Super Monkey Ball Banana Splits released on the PlayStation Vita. Taking a minimalist approach to the story, the plot in the main game is mentioned solely in the included manual. Banana Splits features 2 game modes, Monkey Ball and Party Mode. Overall, Banana Splits received mixed reception upon release, critics praising its level design, challenging difficulty, but criticizing its underdeveloped level editor, mediocre control scheme, and low degree of polish. And after a string of releases, once again the Monkey Ball series would kinda just stop. And if you look back, it had been a long time since a traditional Monkey Ball game had been made. So far, every game being released was either on a handheld console or a console that didn't utilize an analog stick. But everything would change in 2019 when Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz HD released on the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and the PC. Now, although this might not have been the game that everyone was wanting to get remade, we might as well be happy to get a new game in the series at all. In a way, it shows that Sega still remembers the Super Monkey Ball series. It also shows that Banana Blitz wasn't so bad, it was just drastically held back by the Wii's motion controls. And yes, this is the first game since 2006 that uses a console analog stick. Now, there are rumors that a new Monkey Ball game is in development, and this was a way for Sega to test the waters to see if interest was still there for the Super Monkey Ball series. As of right now, there's been no official announcement, but we can keep hoping that in the future, a new Monkey Ball game will be announced for next-gen consoles. As for now, this is the Super Monkey Ball series complete timeline. Once again, if you guys enjoy this content, please like the video, consider subscribing, check out the other playlists on all the other games that we have done complete timeline on. Comment down below what you think about all these Super Monkey Ball games. Let me know if you want to see me do a timeline for the mobile versions. There's a bunch of them, so that could be a lot of fun. Let me know what you want to see next in the complete timeline series. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.